Dear brothers and sisters, we saw the relationship between the elements of the universe and the various characters of the Ramayana. Now let us look at the functioning of the body in relation to the Ramayana and see how Valmiki Ji was able to interrelate the two. Now, if Ma Gayatri's divine influence helped Valmiki Ji, a highway robber, to write the Ramayana, a world scripture, do you not think that Ma Gayatri is also helping us in some mysterious ways, unbeknown to us? Let us see. Looking at the visual, you will see the divine influence of Ma Gayatri spread throughout our body, energizing every part of our body with her 24 syllables, each being a divine and powerful mantra. The Gayatri is a guide as to how we should live our lives. We have in our body many systems: the respiratory, digestive, excretory and central nervous systems, etc. The central nervous system is made up of motor and sensory neurons. They start off in the brain and continue into the spinal cord, and they process information. Do you know how many axons there are? 3.5 million. And do you know how many akshar, that is alphabets, there are in the Ramayana and Mahabharata? 3.5 million. Do you think this is coincidence? These are figures by the author of the Vishwarup Ramayana. So obviously I haven't verified it, and I can't count up to 3.5 million aksharas in the Ramayana. We can take it as gospel. We have in us the sensory nervous system, which allows us to touch and feel. It has 60 demitones, and they represent the 30 spinal nerves on either side of the body. And each spinal nerve has 14 receptor cells that receive and transmit information, like cutaneous, subcutaneous, muscles and skeleton, totaling 840. Now with other cranial nerves, that is nerves in the head, which total 160, they together total 1,000. As mentioned, the 24 syllables of Gayatri is highlighted in every 1,000 verse of the Ramayana, which flows as a psalm word, which also has 1,000 shaka or branches. The psalm word, psalm means that which gives tranquility, represents the complete sensory system, and the 1,000 shakas, branches, that is, represent the doorways for perception. Just as the Gayatri stimulates the 3.5 million akshars of the Ramayana via its 1,000 verses, so too the Ramayana stimulates the 3.5 million nerves in the human physiology through the 1,000 doorways of the sensory system. Now, looking at the visual, you will see that the 10 parts of Gayatri each has a governing form, and the 24 syllables of Gayatri each has a governing deity. They are all present in us, guiding and directing our lives. Our whole body system is energized by the central nervous system through its 1,000 branches, just as the Gayatri Ramayana that you see energizes each 1,000 verses of the Ramayana. Earlier we mentioned the importance of the Gayatri mantra and how it helped Valmiki Ji to write the Ramayana. The Gayatri function as a support structure for the cosmos and is also the support structure for the human body, and this is borne out by the spinal nerves Shushma being enclosed by 24 segments, 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, and 5 lumbar vertebrae. Similarly, the 5 senses of perception, 5 organs of action, 5 vital breaths, and 5 subtle elements, plus the 4 antakaranas, equal 24. They are all displayed in the bow held by Sri Ram. And this bow, the dhanur, in us is none other than our spinal cord, that is, the axis of the body. The bow, the spine, forms the seat of all sensory perception and steers our thought towards positive action in dharma, how we should live our life. The influence of Gayatri as consciousness, that is awareness, displays the power of God. Devotees, the Ramayana is not a mere story. It is the story we live every moment of our lives. Dasarath symbolizes the intellect which controls the senses. The 3 queens of Dasarath are representatives of the 3 gunas, known as Kaushalya, the Sattvic guna, which means tranquility, Keke, the Rajas guna, that means activity, and Sumintra, that is a Tamas guna, that means malice, ignorance, and darkness. Vashisht and Vishwamitra are the gurus who guide the intellect. Ram is the Atma, and Lakshman, Bharat, and Shatrughan, Ram's 3 brothers, are the triple manifestation of God. God as the giver of life, 2, God who protects, and C, God who provides. Mantra, the maidservant, symbolizes the negative qualities that possesses KK, the Rajasic, Tamasic mind. Demon and demonesses in the Ramayana are the evil propensities in us. Ravan is a Rajasic ego, Kumbhakaran is a Tamasic ego, and Vibhishan is the Sattvic ego. Sri Ram's wife, that is Mother Sita, is a cosmic energy, Kundalini, abducted by Ravan, the ego, for wrong use. So, with the help of Hanumanji, symbolizing pranayama or rhythmic breathing, we will find the location of Mother Sita, the energy, and convey the news of it to Sri Ram himself. Ram's destruction of Ravan and Kumbhakaran symbolizes the destruction of Rajasic and Tamasic qualities. The installation of Vibhishan symbolizes the establishment of the Sattva guna and evenness of mind through self-realization. Ram had 1 head, Ravan had 10. It is a victory of single-pointed concentration over the mind that is scattered in all directions like Ravan. Now let us look at the similarities from another viewpoint. The Atma is Rama. He has come as a Jivi, that is wearing the dress, that is the body. Why does he suffer so much? It is all his Leela. Sri Rama has acted the Ramayana on the stage of the theatre of the world, with him taking a role, and each quality or guna has a separate entity. Ram, in the heart, the Atma Rama, is observing everything as a witness. How does the Jada, that is Jiva, that is Sri Atma, that is Sri Ram, enter the Ramayana? The Jada, that is Atma, that is Sri Ram, accepts the active Chaitanya, that is consciousness, that is the Supreme Soul, namely the knowledge of Brahman. Chaitanya is born with the name Sita. Thus, the Jada Chaitanya becomes one, that is Sri Ram and Mother Sita. This is referred to as Sita Rama. So long as they are one, there is no problem. It is a separation of one of these two that gives rise to problem. How is this? Sita, who is Brahma Gyan, goes away from the Atma, which is in the form of the jiva. Hence, falling into the darkness of the jungle is inevitable. Sri Rama has acted in this way to show us that if Sita or Brahma Gyan is allowed to be lost, one cannot escape wandering about in the jungle of darkness. Then why Sri Lakshmanji always with Sri Ram? In our life, what does he stand for? One should not be alone in the dark jungle of life. One should have the manas ever by your side. It is for this reason that Lakshman is always near. In the Ramayana, Vali and Sugriv are described. Who are they in our body? When wandering in the dark jungle of life, one gets despair instead of discrimination. They have hatred for each other. Vali, who is despair, has to be destroyed. Then only success will come. Despair is Vali. Discrimination is Sugriv, who is Hanumanji. He is the great help in the conquest of despair, that is, namely courage. Now, associated with courage, that is Hanumanji, it is possible to cross the ocean of illusion or delusion. This is why Sri Ram built the bridge with the help of Hanumanji. After crossing the ocean of delusion, what is planned? Sri Ram conquered Moha or illusion. He slew Rajagun and Tamagun, that is Ravan and Kumbhakaran. The Sattva Gun, that is Vibhishan, was crowned king. Once this is achieved, the next is attainment, that is Mother Sita or Brahmagyan. When Jada and Chaitanya unite, again this is the coronation. The fundamental teaching of the Ramayana is this: the Jiva, that is Sri Ram, Manas, that is Lakshman, Gyan, that is Mother Sita, despair, that is Vali, discrimination, that is Sugriv, and courage, that is Hanuman, delusion, that is the sea, Rajas, that is Ravan, Tamas is Kumbhakaran, and Sattva is Vibhishan. These demonstrate themselves in a different form. It is important to know how and in what way these can be acquired and subdued. All this is done by the Atma, who has come in the form and in the name of Ram. So long as there is a struggle for achievement through these paths, until then the Ramayana will continue. In the Ramayana of actual life, Atma is Sri Ram, Manas is Lakshman, Brahmagyan is Sita, and when Sita is lost, Ram falls into the forest of existence. In that forest, despair and discrimination is present. If we associate ourselves with Hanumanji, that is courage, we can cross the sea of delusion with the army of zest, strength, and steadfastness, represented by Jaman, Angad, and the other Vanas. As soon as we cross the ocean of delusion, we can destroy the Rajasic and Tamasic qualities in us, symbolized by Ravan and Kumbhakaran. The Sattvic Vibhishan can be crowned king. Sita is then obtained. The Ramayana, accomplished as the son of Dasharath then, is being enacted now as a subtle Ramayana through gunas and indriyas, qualities and senses in each individual. Each guna and senses put on a form. How do the senses put on a form? In what form do they appear? The gunas, that is the mothers, cannot express themselves without the senses. Gunas are bred in the senses. The senses of action are 5. The senses of knowledge are 5. These 10, together with the manas, create attachment. The Jada Chaitanya has to master these senses. This is their duty. Dasharath has the name because he symbolizes the das indriyas, that is the 10 senses. The gunas, mothers, cannot be unrelated to the senses, that is Dashrat. The sense of action and knowledge, that is karma and gyan indriyas, equal 10. 4 sons were born to Dashratji. Who are they? From the 10 senses, Dashrat not from the 10 senses, that is Dashrat, not only 4, but any numbers of guna and rupas can originate. Only the most important, that is 4, symbolizing the 4 faces of the Lord, originated by his will. They are born as Ram, Lakshman, Bharat and Shatrughan. They are Satya, that is Sri Ram, Prema, that is Lakshman, Dharma, that is Bharat, and Shanti, that is Shatrughan in the subtle form. These 4 were born of 3 mothers. Who are they? They represent the gunas, that is Kaushalya, Sattvic, Keikei, Rajasic, and Sumitra, Tamasic. Dashrathji, in the form of Das Indriyas, is associated with these gunas, and so he is Indra Guna Swarupa. It is because man could not easily grasp the truth through the senses and the gunas that the Lord taught them through the Ramayan. The Lord is teaching us today. That day, the Lord performed the gross Ramayan. Today, he is performing the Shukshma Ramayan, that is the subtle Ramayan, on the stages of man's heart. Thank you for tuning in and sharing your time with me today. Make sure to like and share this video with everyone. Stay connected, stay inspired. May Sri Ram be with you always. See you in the next video. Jai Sri Ram.